Hello everyone and welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. As the name might suggest, we are live on YouTube tonight, so as always get involved in the live chat. I am hosting this week due to rushed circumstances, so I'm joined by Ali Pearson. Ali, how are you, mate?
Not too bad. First week back at work. I was only in for 3 days because I started on Wednesday, so glad to be back off again. Looking forward to starting a full week on Monday.
Not, I know. But to be fair, it's about a blessing in disguise, isn't it, the whole Wednesday thing? Because, don't get me wrong, I forgot what days it was and everything. I don't know how many times this week, but I was like, well, I'm off. I'm off now till Monday. And Ryan, good evening, mate. How are you?
Good evening, lads. Only three of us tonight. Rumours are that Scotia Gamo is on his way over to Ali's to take down his Christmas decorations. Obviously, stay tuned to see if that does happen. I'm glad to be here tonight and talk Rangers, boys.
Yeah, AWOL Scotia. Yes, AWOL Scotia. So, no, I took my when did I take my decorations down? The 3rd, I think. I think I done it the 3rd. Because I was back to work on the 4th, so I just done it all on the 3rd. I'm a wee bit of a humbug. See, after Christmas, I would take it down between Christmas and New Year, because I'm like, well, it's Christmas decorations, isn't it? So Christmas is done. But no, the missus like, no, we'll keep it up, so fair enough. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Before we get into it, please do subscribe to the channel. Please do like the video. That would be absolutely tremendous. You can support us by joining the YouTube channel. You can also support us by buying us a coffee via buymeacoffee.com, and you can also donate via the live chat. You'll definitely get your comment up as long as it's within reason of the comment that you have made. Then if you donate, then you're more than guaranteed to get your comment up. So yes, let's get into things tonight, lads. We don't often start a podcast by talking about another set of fans, but I think we have to. Now, some may know, some may not know that there's a bit of a controversial at first, until the rules clearly stated that it wasn't a controversial VAR decision. But Ali, it looks like, I think UEFA are going to get sued. The SFA are definitely getting sued. Beaton's getting sued. Willie Collum's getting sued, and they're calling for everybody to be sacked. And I think if this doesn't work, then they're going to try and sue Vladimir Putin. What is your take on this extraordinary behaviour, mate?
Same old. They do all the time, Celtic. Remember that time they bullied the referees, and the referees were not going to strike the referees a way back, but that's what they're all about. It's bizarre, Carney. They're 9 points clear. They're pretty much going to win this league. They're cantering it, if we're being honest, and they're moaning about wee things like that. Yet the handball rule with penalties is one you can argue about in terms of, do you agree with the rule or whatever. But the rule states basically, Willie Collum got it correct in the VAR, in the VAR seat, wherever he was, because the letter of the law, it's not a penalty.
No,
I knew something like this would happen, and again, I just knew there'd be something. And there's obviously they're not happy about the Sakala one either. Where Sakala meant to put his foot, and that boy just takes his foot out to get that. To me, that's a penalty as well.
Yeah,
but they're the same all the time, Celtic. I mean, I seen something about Postecoglou coming out and saying if it was the other way around and it fell to Rangers in terms of if it cost us the game, you would hear more about it. And I really don't think you would. I mean, you look back to that game we played if you want to look back at games with the League Cup final, and we battered them, and they got a majorly offside goal with about 3-4 players offside. VAR wasn't there at that point, but it was there and gone, to be honest. But I'm not surprised, Carney. Always cheated, never defeated FC. I know they weren't defeated, but there's always something against them, and it's pretty sad because, like I say, they're 9 points clear. Come on, get on with it. Thanks very much to Trying Scotsman as well.
Yeah, Trying Scotland, amazing. Thank you very much for the donation to the channel, mate. And they've been the same forever. They have been the same forever. Ryan, I think obviously I'll try and become more sensible about all this. They've got their usual cheerleaders, right, that come out and say all this stuff. It plays to the galleries. They absolutely love it. They feed on it. It's what they're all about. And I for my sins actually know some Celtic fans, and one of them genuinely uttered to me, we won't be allowed to win on Monday. We won't be allowed to win on Monday because of VAR. And I'm like, yous are 9 points clear. Like, literally 9 points clear. I cannot understand that mentality, way of thinking. Like, it's so strange. I mean, I honestly can't understand it.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love when they do this because you know something's not going right for them. You know everything has to go their way. And when something just slightly doesn't go right, it's like a default thing for them that they love to be the victim. They love to play the victim. And I mean, this is the worst conspiracy in the world, if you think about it. I mean, they won 9 titles in a row. They got handed a title over a Zoom call. But we're supposed to think
8.75, Ryan.
Sorry, 9.75. Thank you, Alistair.
8.75.
8.75. Sorry. But they really are. It's the worst conspiracy theory ever, but it's great. It's great entertainment. And there are some sensible fans out there's, I'm sure, somewhere who will be cringing. But there's a lot of them who just, I mean, I went into my local once I'd left you guys, come down the road and went into my local.
Was beaten there.
Beaton was there. But nobody was buying him a drink. Nobody was buying him a drink. He put a few tunes on the jukebox. I don't know if I can mention them on this pod right enough. But there's the Celtic fan that spoke to me said, "Oh, you just back from the game?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What do you think?" I was like, "Disappointed we never won." And the first thing straight away, he's like, "Never a penalty." And I was like, "What? Sakala's?" He's like, "Aye." I was like, "Oh, I've not seen it in television." I said, "So I can't really comment." And he went, "And by the way, we should have had a penalty." And I was like, "Here we go." Like, it's everything. It's as soon as they don't win a game, it's a default. As Ali said, always cheated, never defeated, and it's, by God, I'm just so glad I'm not one of them because it's embarrassing. It really is, and I hear their managers got involved as well today, which I'm slightly surprised at. But that for me opens a door a wee bit because that guy's never been under pressure. Although I give him a lot of credit, think he is a good coach. He's never been under pressure when he's been here, and it's maybe just a wee glimpse of he could get ingrained in that kind of way of thinking, the way Celtic are, and it's just typical them, mate. That's all I can say, but it is very entertaining at the same time.
It is entertaining. Kerryfield Meltdown's always a good wee way to cheer yourself up. If you've got a spare 5 minutes, you go on and just have a wee read in your life. Honestly, I just can't. I can't bring myself that low down in mentality because I don't think I'll be able to get myself back up again. It is what it is. They're always going to do it. They're always going to set the scene. I think they're saying that they're going to try and. I mean, it's all built as a narrative to try and put pressure on. Referees and all the stats that pop up, and it's like they create stats as well. Like they'll remove some things out of the stats in order to make the stats look worse than what they actually are. It's bonkers. It's Trump material of manipulating
It's almost
stats.
like they enjoy it though. That's the weird thing.
Of
about
course
it.
they do.
It's almost like they enjoy
do.
being the victim, or they enjoy being, if they would like to think they have been cheated and they enjoy it. It's the strangest thing, but yes, it's very much in their DNA, mate.
Yeah, I mean, a draw to them suits them down to the ground. They're 9 points clear. What happened in that match is sort of irrelevant to them. It's more damaging to us than it is to them. And you still have can you imagine what would have happened if we'd have won? And as Ali said, we were talking about it before the game. Imagine we got a VAR penalty in the last minute and we scored it and we won the game. I mean, honestly, Scottish football would be setting fire, I think. Absolutely bonkers. Anyway, enough about them. It's more about us, so let's move on. So we'll go through a number of things tonight before we eventually get to the preview of the Dundee United game coming up on Sunday. First off, a bit of a rumour that started. Rumours of Hollander's contract being kind of ended because he is out injured. He's been out injured now for a long time. That's me being quite generous about it. And he doesn't have a return date. And he's one of the ones that's out of contract in the summer. Ali, what's your opinions on this? I think we probably all agree. You can say if you're wrong. I don't think we'll see Philip Hollander play for Rangers ever again. I think his time is up here. Would it be fair on the player? I mean, to get rid of him, you're probably to get rid of him. It sounds horrific, but to end the contract now, you're probably talking paying 3/4 worth of the contract before he would agree to it. Is it better to just hopefully let the guy recover so he can go on, use our facilities if he likes, and then go on and have a career somewhere else?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him again. Suter's just about back as well. You get Leon King there as well, so I don't think you'll see him. I know he's the only Davies is the only natural left-sided centre half we've got, and then it would be Hollander. But he's been out for it. The last time we seen him, Carney, was we were at that game at St Mirren. That's where he got injured.
So it was.
That one where Aribo scored a screamer in that game, I remember. But it's like you say, he can sit tight, Hollander, because he's got his contract there to end the season anyway. So why would he take a reduced fee to leave? So I think he'll be there till his contract ends, to be honest. And he might wave goodbye in the pitch when they do their last home game of the season, when they all do that kind of walk around the park and wave to the fans. So we might see him then. But he was a good defender, Hollander. I liked Hollander. I thought he was one of our best natural defenders. Lacked a bit of pace, but he could read the game really well. But unfortunately, injuries has just hampered him, and I can't see him coming back, unfortunately. He had a good song as well, Hollander. Another one with a good song.
Yeah, it did, but again, it's premature songs, and I know he made up for it with a header against Celtic. Don't get me wrong, that he justifies his song, but we were making songs too early for players. Ryan, your thoughts on this? Probably, I would imagine you're along the same lines. That he did well for his in spells, but we are. We use the word sentimental all the time, and we can't be that with players. Probably maybe not be like that with Hollander, but we also can't have passengers, mate.
Nah, I think he's been out far too long, out the picture too long. He's not even got a return date. I would imagine Hollander's on a decent wage as well. If he's came from Serie A as a Swedish internationalist, mate, I would imagine he's on a good chunk. We could do with getting rid of him and off the wage bill. For the record, I think Hollander's a brilliant defender. I really do. I think if he had pace, he would probably be playing Premier League. That's how highly I rate him. I think he's a great defender. It's probably why he came to us, is because he didn't have any pace. But there's no doubting that guy's been unlucky with injuries. Possibly why he's been offloaded. I'm not sure what his record's like with injuries, but it's a shame because he did put a lot of good performances in. I think, what was the last game we beat them in terms of 90 minutes? Was it that game when he scored? I think it was. Because the last time we beat him was in extra time. We beat him, I think, was that game he scored.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, that kind of shows you how long ago that was. But it is sad, and there is a sentimental side to it. But yeah, Rangers are a business. We're a Beale's project now, if you want to call it that. And it's time to move on from Hollander if there is an opportunity to put a deal on the table, end his contract early, and wish him all the best. Then I would hope the club are going to do it.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Led Zepaldo 777 says Suter will never be back. Will he, guys? Don't know about that. Him playing at left centre back is not being back, and I think Goldson will indirectly ruin his Rangers career. What's an interesting one, that, to be honest. I think Suter will get forced to play left centre half. If not, I think he will. There is a chance that he could become cover for Goldson, and that might, maybe that's more where you're coming from, that it might limit his chances within the team. But I think Goldson is going to be he won't play the 60 odd games that he played every season. It's not going to happen. A player cannot sustain that. It's not possible for him to. So Suter might get his chances when when they're decided to rest Goldson. Ali, would you go along with that?
I'll just put that comment up there. I was actually thinking about that there. I think you could see possibly a back three in certain games.
That's true.
Maybe, this season, in terms of big games we've got left, we've got cup games and stuff, so will he experiment with that? Possibly. But I can see Suter getting games for us in terms of pulling Goldson out now and again to get a rest, because like you say, Carney, before he got injured, he played pretty much every game for Rangers since he signed, for a guy that had a major heart surgery as well before he came. So I can see him alternating those two. Again, is Davies going to last a season with us? Is he one of these injury-prone players? He's come back and been decent, Davies. But I seen Soot at left centre half, and that he's not comfortable there. I know I think he was kind of injured, but he's not comfortable there. But I could see him in a back three in potential games as well.
Yeah, Ryan, your thoughts on that? Back three thing's probably a shout.
Yeah, especially the way we play our fullbacks. I sometimes wonder like what games are we going to play a back three in domestically, possibly against them. I don't know. I just feel as if it's a bit defensive or a bit kind of defence heavy. If we've got three centre halves playing there, I do think Suter has got a future at Rangers if he keeps his fitness. I think 2 or 3 times now I've heard it mentioned since Beale came in from the club that they want some sort of Scottish identity. So, well, he's Scottish centre half, and Beale said that in his press conference today. So I would expect that he is part of Beale's plans if he stays fit. I do rate him. I think he had a really rocky start to his career. Out of position, possibly, you may say, at left centre back, he should still be able to play there for me. I know it's not your natural position because it's not your natural foot that you're playing with or receiving the ball. I still think he should be able to play there though as a professional footballer. I do rate him, but I'd like to think that he'll be able to challenge Davies or Connor Goldson at some point this season if he regains his fitness. But yeah, it's an interesting one, the back three. I've heard it a few times now. I don't know if that's a European thing or not. I wouldn't like to turn up to Ibrox against Dundee United and see us playing a back three. Is probably what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's an interesting one though. It's definitely one to look out for. With the fact that, as you say, Suter looks like he's not that far away from a return. Obviously, we're into the transfer window now, so the crazy links of everybody that's ever wore a Rangers top in their life will be getting linked with who's ever mentioned the word Rangers in a sentence before. But one that I kind of went, Ryan, was John Fleck being linked with us. I'm quite a fan of this. I'm not a massive fan of players returning to the club, right? I never really have been into that. However, there's no doubt he's went away and he's done well for himself as a career. He certainly knows the club. He certainly knows the country. It would be quite an interesting signing for me if we were to go for Fleck.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to tell me you'd spoken to a taxi driver and they told you Robbie Fowler was signing.
No, it was Alan Smith. Alan Smith.
Alan Smith. That was another one. Alan Smith. John Fleck's an interesting one. Is that a free transfer? Is he out of contract?
Apparently, yeah, he's out. Yeah.
I'll be completely honest here, and I'll say I don't think I've seen John Fleck once since he's left Rangers. I'd not watched much of him at all. I think he might have seen him
midfielder.
Yeah, did he play with Scotland? I feel as if I've seen him playing for Scotland one game or something like that. All I can really base it on is I went to quite a few games with John Fleck when he was it wasn't the B team at the time. I think it was under 21s when we had that, or the reserves. And I saw him at Hampden. And John Fleck was exciting to say the least. He was Alex Lowry on crack, if you want to put it that way. I thought he looked amazing. And I was really excited to see him coming through at Rangers. In circumstances, the way Smith's team was, and Smith didn't really utilise him, got a few chances, but it just didn't happen for John Fleck at Rangers in the first team. So you wonder if he's maybe went out, matured, and probably there was a lot of pressure on him as well because he was coming through the youth with such a kind of big reputation. But yeah, that would be an interesting one. Whether or not we need another defensive midfielder or not is another thing. I remember Fleck being kind of box to box, and I don't know if he just doesn't play that role anymore. But that's what we need, boys. I want somebody who's going to play that kind of box to box role. I think we're inundated with defensive midfielders. If you think of Jack, Kamara, Lundstrom, they all do the same job for me. John Fleck, would he improve things? Possibly, but would it be an upgrade on the players we've got? I don't know. It's a hard one. As I said, I haven't seen him, but if he's done the job down south, he's a free transfer, then I understand why we're looking at him.
Yeah, I would say it would definitely be an improvement on Sands in the midfield. I think, and I know. I think in terms of the way Kamara's form has been recently and his attitude, it looks like I think he would be a better option than him. I do see a lot of people saying he is injury prone. He is 30, 31 now. I get that, but again, you've got to be realistic about where we play football. And I hate saying that because I believe that we should go out and sign the best players in the world. But again, you've got to kind of be realistic. I think Kamar Roof's probably the perfect example of that, because if Kamar Roof was not as injury prone as he was and stayed fit, he wouldn't be playing for Rangers. It's as simple as that. Ali, what's your thoughts on Flick? I think it was just one that I seen that I thought, not. It's not one that you think's too pie in the sky, and I think I could see that happening.
That's Chris Boyd that came up with it. He said that Rangers should go and have a look at John Fleck because his contract's up. I'm a no with John Fleck, if I'm being honest. He's 32 in August.
Right.
He's not that player that I was talking about that was coming through the Rangers youth team, and you've seen him, the next Wayne Rooney was touted as. He's a defensive midfielder now for Sheffield United. He's injured at the moment. He did have a heart condition at one point last season. He was out of the game for a while. He went down on the pitch, but a good player, John Fleck. That's why he came into that Scotland team. Didn't really start because where he plays, Scotland have got quite a few players in that position, but I would say he's along the lines of like a Ryan Jack. I don't think he's any better than Ryan Jack. He's on that level for me. So Michael Beale for me talks about he likes to develop players. He's too old for me, 32. He's a squad. If he came up, he'd be a squad player, but we've got umpteen squad players and in that position. So I'm sorry, he's a no for me. I've seen a bit of him. I do watch a bit of that Championship. Does well for Sheffield United, but like I say, he's injured. He's 32 in August, and I don't want to be going down that route with players at 32 and you maybe get a year out of them and that's it. So he's a no for me.
There's probably nothing in it. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. There's like Rangers are notorious for keeping cards close to their chest and being slow at this as well. Let's be honest. And we're all desperate for something to happen. It's like, right, I keep going, okay, it's now the 6th of January. Why have you not announced the signing? You've had long enough to get this sorted, but I'm very impatient and I want to see improvement. But I think Fleck in his palm is probably one of the kind of type of players that we probably need. And I think I say that in terms of I think we need backup and competition for John Lundstrom, because yes, I know Jack can do it, but I think he fancies Jack and Kamara playing a little bit further forward. So yeah, but I get why people would also disagree with it. It's a fair shout. Potato Man said, she's seen it on the screen there, sign Aaron Ramsey. Here he's available. That's this time last year we signed Aaron Ramsey, wasn't it? Was it this time last year?
We will be doing another breaking pod in this January.
Unbelievable. I doubt it.
Brandon Barker comes back.
Brandon Barker returns. I think I'll do a Scotia that night and just not be on. For the
do you know what we need to do, boys? We need to make a pact right now. If Porto signs, you need to come on and I'm hosting. Because I will go to town on you if he signs.
No chance.
No.
Well, listen, Mr. Beale said he's speaking to people just now, and I thought all you can speak to is people who are allowed to talk to other clubs.
You must be his agent, Ryan, because you keep going on about Craig Porteous here. So I don't know whether you've got...
That's all I'm saying, boys. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know.
I will say, Ryan, I'll give you some credit here, right? You shouted a name all of last season for donkeys and donkeys and donkeys, and he's doing very well in Serie A at the moment. And Lewis Ferguson, and he's been touted to go to. I think Juventus have been linked with him and other teams within Serie A. And I said at the time, nah, he's not good enough. But I'll hold my hands up and say, he would have improved this Rangers team this season for what we're looking for. But he's our John McGinn, if you know what I mean.
I totally know. I get it. Like, yeah, he's gone now, but I think I get your point of view. Like I said this in the pub the other day there about Porteous, and I totally get where he's coming from. I do. And I've said a million times I don't think he's good enough. But at the same time, I just think as Old Firm fans, like Old Firm fans in general are very good at turning their nose up at Scottish talent. And I just think sometimes you see the amount of garbage we sign from abroad, just take a punt on a few Scottish boys, see what you can get out of them. Like, you think of the success rate we've had out of Chris Boyd and stuff like that. Like, it's just not... I would have taken Lewis Ferguson a second, as you know, but yeah, he's gone now, so...
Yeah, no, you're spot on, mate, because I even said at the time with Ferguson, I was like, no, because I didn't like the whole connection to previous Fergusons, etc. So I was like, nah. And maybe I let that cloud my judgment a wee bit, but he's not half done well for himself. But you're right, he's out with us now. He won't be coming here. But Porteous, mate, I'm never getting on board with it. I'm honestly never, ever getting on board with
Just
it.
imagine him standing outside Ibrox, Ross Wilson's behind him, he's got a scarf and that.
Many men, definitely, man. No, it's just for me, mate, and no, I can't get on board with Portis. I can't go the guy. I just can't go him, and I honestly think it's it's, again, my personal opinion. I think the whole kind of build up around his demeanour, the way he is, a bit of aggression, a bit of a Barry Hunt, as we've said before. I think that plays up more than what a kind of player that he actually is. I don't think he's particularly good. I mean, he's a decent centre half for Scotland, but nah, just for me,
I think I'm just starting to want him to sign just to see your reaction to it.
to annoy me.
I don't think I'm even interested in playing for Rangers. I think I just want to see the reaction.
No, mate, I know, but no. Speaking of balls, it's a return of the Manscaped promo, everybody. So, yes, time for a word from our sponsors, Manscaped. Happy New Year from our friends over at Manscaped. The ball has officially dropped, but that doesn't mean you have to drop the ball on your balls in 2023. Whether you had a New Year's kiss or not, the leaders in below the waist grooming have you covered for your much needed resolution of bringing sexy back. Join the 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com, use the code CLUB@22 for 20% off and free shipping. Let us have a toast for a new year, new you. If you really want to make 2023 the year to remember, make sure to try out Manscaped wet goods as well. This includes their ultra premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo and body deodorant. These products are absolutely perfect follow-up for your new year, new you grooming sessions. Cheers to new balls in 2023. Go get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code CLUB@22. Time to feel sexy and free this 2023 with Manscaped. What will your balls do, gentlemen?
They will thank you.
They will, thank you. So the boys also said they were a wee bit rushed to host because you know I don't usually host a live show, and that's all because there was a Manscaped promo getting read out tonight, and they wanted me to do the first one. So yes, thank you very much, Janice, for the £10. That's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate that. Yes, Manscaped. It's been a while, but yes, as you can see, Manscaped are continuing into New Year with us, which is great. We can't thank Manscaped enough.
Be good for Scotia, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know it'll be Scotia. You'll not recognise Scotia next time he comes on. He goes completely bald. Absolutely. He's get carried away with his Manscaped razor, and that's him now.
Has he got his calendar out yet? Has he brought his calendar out? His Manscaped calendar, Scotia?
I don't know. I'll need to chase that up. I'll chase that up with the rep for Manscaped.
Put the link in the next pod for the guys if they're wanting one.
Yeah. The early access will be on his OnlyFans. That's for absolute sure. His early access will be on his OnlyFans. Right, gentlemen, we'll move on to Beale's pressure. And yes, Alistair, manager of the month goes to Mr. Michael Beale. I mean, another thing that the supporters of a certain team might have a bit of a meltdown about. But I mean, you came in, it's 5 games undefeated, mate. It's a wee feather in his cap for his first month.
Yeah, he's done well. Postecoglou, he's got the same record. He must have the same record for this month, 4 wins and a draw as well. But no, he deserves it. He's come into let's be honest, a poor team at the time. He's got 4 wins and he was, like he said in his presser car, he was 5 minutes away from getting the perfect 5 wins out of 5. That would have been a phenomenal start to him with a team which hasn't been playing that great, to be honest. So, yeah, well done to him. But, I mean, Manager of the Month awards, I'm not interested in Manager of the Month awards. I'm interested in trophies getting flung in front of me. So, well done, Michael Beale. But the next one for him is to lift that League Cup for me, which is the next thing in the agenda for me for him.
absolute killjoy of a man Alistair Pearson is. Yes, well done, Michael, but no, I'm not happy for you. No, I do understand. Manager of the month doesn't mean anything, let's be honest. But still, though, Ryan, it does show that there's been progression under him, because if memory serves me right, and somebody can come in and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Gio won Manager of the Month while he was here. Somebody can correct me. I don't think he did.
I don't know if he won it last season or not. No, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. No.
I don't remember him having it, unless he won it when
I think he did. I think he did when he first came into Rangers, because I think he went in a run, Van Bronckhorst, and won most of the games when he first came in.
Yeah,
somebody in the comments will know. But
somebody certainly didn't win it this season, though. That's for sure. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's positive, because he's got the new manager bounce that we thought he would get. It's just up to him to sustain it now, and I think it must be difficult coming in halfway through a season when a team aren't doing well, and he keeps saying that the crisis he's getting told about and how bad this team are is it doesn't exist in his head. He thinks things aren't as bad as they're made out to be, which is good. It's positive. He obviously believes in some of these players and thinks he can get a tune out of them, which I think. Listen, I was looking at things today, and I was looking at the injuries we've had, blah blah blah, and you sometimes wonder. Yes, it was painful to watch at times, but you sometimes wonder if we were a wee bit harsh as a support. Yes, it's horrible being nine points behind in the league, in our eyes, in my eyes. I get people don't give it up just now, but it's an opinion which I'm allowed. In my eyes, is over at the moment. So yeah, I think he certainly deserves it. His team deserve it, and yeah, Rangers have improved since he came in. I certainly thought, looking at the fixtures, Aberdeen away, Ross County away, and Celtic away, I thought, yeah, we'll drop points at probably Aberdeen, probably get beat from them. So do you know what? Credit to Michael Beale and the team and his management staff as well, because things are going in the right direction. But of course, there is a lot of work to do, as he said.
Absolutely, we were saying it just before we went live, mate, that I was all aboard the Beale train as soon as he was linked, as soon as he was touted for the job. I was like, yes. But you even said as well, mate, that you're beginning to really love the guy, and it's the way he talks, it's the way that he. And I don't think a lot of people are saying he's maybe being too honest. I don't think he is being too honest. I don't think he gives enough away to make me think you shouldn't be saying that. It's just enough to be as honest as he can be, and then literally just let everybody else read between the lines. But it's not as vague as others, put it that way. It's not as vague as others. So I do like Michael Beale. I could listen to him talk all day. I think he's great, and I think he's settling in pretty well. As I say, I quite like his whole demeanour. It'll be interesting once Rangers give us press access so we can ask him questions. Right, he also spoke about Tavernier. Ali, obviously there's been a lot of criticism. I think it was Adam Thornton from Heart and Hand. If you listen to Heart and Hand, Adam Thornton asking a question about James Tavernier is like a fundamental thing that has to happen. But obviously the criticism that came his way, or that's been coming his way, does he think it's fair? Now, Beale backs him, of course he does. He's going to come out and say that he backs his captain, but he did caveat it with a wee bit of he needs competition. He does believe that some players can become too comfortable because they know that they're the only name on the team sheet, and that's been clear for quite a while for us to be able to see that there's not really been competition for him since Patterson. I do think Devine will push him. Will he push him as much as Patterson, and will the cry be as much as it was for Patterson to come in? I'm not sure, but competition for places, mate, it's something that has to happen in order for us to progress. And if the guy that's pushing you is doing better than you, Beale has to be brave at one point if that is the case, and he'll need to drop Tavernier. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, he splits the Rangers support. He splits our podcast. James Tavernier. The Ryan and the Gov in front with his F 6th Tav Brigade that he's got down there.
And he's big sign. He's got a big
Potato Man actually beat me to it. I was just about to shout it, but well done, Potato Man. It's in the comments.
Yeah, so he was going on about obviously last season or before Patterson left. Patterson was there pushing him. Patterson was very similar to Tav in the way he played, how he can go up and down the. Jamie Lowe, credit to his mother. There's a credit to his mother, Jamie Lowe. So no, he was on about Patterson pushing him last season, which was true. And you look at Tav last season, especially in that Europa League run to the final, he was phenomenal in that competition. The amount of times he was at that back post, scoring a goal to put us ahead and the penalties, etc. This season, he's not been great, but I put him in the camp with a lot of Rangers players this season. It's not just him. There's been a lot of players that haven't been great this season for Rangers. It's not just him. He gets highlighted a lot because he's not a whipping boy, Tav, but to a certain extent he is at times.
He's not far off it, mate. He's not far off.
No, I know. Well, when you read Twitter now all the time, folk are going on and on about him, but at the end of the day, well, he is the captain. Beale rates him. Previous manager rated him as well, so I rate Tav as well. He is 31 now, Tav, I think. Devine, will he push him on as much as you were saying there, Patterson? Can I agree? I like Devine, but I don't. He's not as good as Patterson, Devine, but he's a different type of fullback. I've said he's a kind of old-fashioned fullback, Devine. I think he'll do a job. I think he'll be a good deputy come in. Do we go and look at a right back in the summer to go and bring somebody in? Possibly. He did mention Barisic with Ryan's Turkish delight coming back, who we've hardly even seen at all. We'll push him going forward too. So, yeah, it's only positive. You need to have, as I think it was Gerrard said away when he came back, he wants basically two players for each position that can start. And that's what you want, to push whoever's got a jersey, and you want whoever's behind to push that person. So it's up to young Devine going forward to push Tav, because Tav, like I say, is 31. He's coming into the kind of twilight years now. So it's up to young Devine to catch the attention of the manager, and I think he has so far.
Yeah, Ryan, let's say Tav does split this podcast, and I think the only fair thing I'd like to say about it is we're definitely closer to the end of Tavernier than we are at the start of Tavernier at Rangers. And I'm not saying that he's going to be going anytime really soon, but I think I get where Beale's coming from. I am not 100% sure he'll stick true to his word, and that's a bit unfair saying that, but I think you know what I mean by that is that Tav's the Rangers captain at the end of the day, and people hate that. People don't like that he's Rangers captain. People believe it should be other people. I think he's earned it. I think the work that he's done previously, he's earned it. I think stripping him of it would cause nobody. I don't think it would have any benefits for the team as a whole. It would just be easier for him to drop him, if that makes sense. And I don't think that's right doing that. But the competition for places thing, mate, what's your take on that? It's going to, it needs to happen. Yeah,
I'm just going to quickly say, it's so strange what B. Blair said a few moments ago about somebody saying FFS to have me and my son sitting waiting, the guy behind me saying it. There is a father and son who's sitting in front of me and the guy in front, and I'm like, I wonder if that's that guy. Might be me. No, I'm not that bad. I genuinely I'm not that bad. Well, lately I have been, but the competition for right back is healthy. It's healthy because Devine's playing well. He's played well at left back. He does look as if he's got something about him, Devine. Whether it's going to be the future Rangers right back or the next Nathan Patterson, I don't know. I wouldn't write him off. But he's only 19. But it's healthy for Tav, no matter what you think. Whether he's playing well or not playing well, competition is healthy. It betters the squad. It keeps them on their toes. And it's good for Rangers as a whole. So I like that we've eventually got somebody, because for too long, it's fine relying on Tavernier, but we've never, apart from that Zarowski guy, I can't remember the last right back we've had where you've thought apart from Patterson, he should be playing in front of Tav or give him a chance. We don't really buy a right. It's not a thing we do, is buy a right back. So I think it's healthy for Tav, and Beale alluded to it in his press conference today that he thinks Tavernier probably played his top game when he had Nathan Patterson chapping the door to start. And again, that split support. I was very much in the Patterson camp, and then Tavernier would put a man of match performance in the Saturday, and you would be like, right, okay, that's why he is playing. So I think it's healthy. I think Devine will be patient. I'm not worried about him getting in the off or anything like that. He's 19 years old and just broken through into the Rangers team. So I think it's healthy all round. I do think that Tavernier does have to up his game, though. I've said this, I'm not going to sit and slate the guy now. The time's passed, we had the conversation about that, but I think it's healthy. But in terms of the armband, Yeah, I disagree with. I think Goldson should be the captain, but see, if we're being honest, boys, it's only an armband. People get transfixed in this armband thing, and I watch. You know where I sit. I sit down low and I see the players, and there's people like Lundstrom and McGregor roaring their heads off all game, constantly checking folk, pulling them in. It's materialistic a bit for me. The armband. I think it's we look into it too much as a support. I think.
Yeah, I still quite like the idea of having a Rangers captain and the kind of what it means to be a Rangers captain. Again, you all know I'm quite old school when it comes to traditions in football, but as I said, just stripping him of a captaincy just because he's got poor form, I mean, what it's not going to solve. It's not going to solve anything. I mean, it won't solve nothing. If anything, it will just make things worse. So it's an easy thing just to come out and say, but I don't agree with it. I think Tav will be the captain until he decides that he's not playing for Rangers anymore, or the club decide that he's not playing for Rangers anymore, and that is just the way that it's going to be. I think Goldson's a great leader. I think Lundstrom's a great leader. I think Jack's a great leader as well. He's not really a screamer, but he knows where everybody is. Same as Davis as well when he's on, when he was fit and obviously playing. I think he's a great leader because he's just a calming influence on everybody. So I do agree with the comment that was made. We need 11 captains on the park. The armband is the armband, even if I would like to believe that the traditions of a Rangers captain still stand true. I don't think in modern football it really does. Is it Pep Guardiola that just gives it to MD, didn't he? He just doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is Pep. I don't think he's really got he's got his set captains, if you like, but I don't think he puts like any emphasis on it.
We were spoiled though. If you think of what the captains we've grown up as, we were spoiled with like Richard Gough and Barry Ferguson, whatever, who were like in this image of a Rangers captain, were proper Rangers captains. So we're very spoiled. That's why it is important to us, which I totally get. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Right, so we spoke briefly as well about Suter being back in training, which is good. Hadji is back in training as well, but obviously it's a much slower rehab for him. It's going to take him much longer, but it's good to know that he's back in contact training. And then Ali, the news that I didn't want to hear, man, and no Rangers fan wanted to hear. Tom Lawrence has had to go to a specialist due to some discomfort, and we don't know if it's going to be a setback or not. But Beale did pretty much hint that the end of this month is probably going to be too soon for him. I have severe whiffs of this is a typical Rangers signing, mate.
Yeah, remember when that paper chat came out? It was just before Christmas when it said Tom Lawrence has had a setback and he won't be back till March.
Yeah,
and the Rangers came out and went poo-pooed it. Well, look where we are now.
I know.
So, yeah, he came out, Beale, and said it's. He said something like it's not. It's what did he say? Something like it's not a positive, but it's not a negative. If you know what I mean. But it's in the middle.
Yeah, it was kind of middle.
Really know until he sees.
He didn't really know, but it was just the way they ended it. The end of this month might come too soon. I was just like, wow.
I'm disappointed, Carney, because you know before he signed for us, I was saying he'd be a fantastic signing for us. Mm-hmm. And he's the one guy we miss at the moment. He's a box-to-box player. He can hit free kicks. He can score goals. We don't have that at the moment. We're crying out for somebody like him at the moment, and it's a shame because we're coming up for critical games. I've said the big 2 weeks coming up next weekend and the week after in terms of the cups, and then if we do make it through into the final, you've got the League Cup final coming in. I think that's March. And then the rest of the season, and then obviously the Scottish Cup. So. Yeah, it's disappointing because this is another setback he's had because he's been out a while now, Tom Lawrence. And yeah, we've been scarred with this before in terms of Rangers players. And I think that's another reason that you're saying that, Carney. It's the scar tissue on players that we have signed before. And it always ends in a disaster. And hopefully it's not. But it's disappointing because I think a lot of Rangers fans thought he'd be back the tail end of this month.
Yeah, and I think, Ryan, it's one of the ones as well that he is such a promising player and we've seen flashes from him and we were all really impressed with him, and it's so close but so far away.
Aye, I was quite deflated when I heard the news about Lawrence. I actually heard it before I watched Beale's press conference. Didn't really fill me with optimism when he said that it wasn't a positive or a negative. I think when someone's been out for so long and you're not getting positive news, then it's a concern, especially if he's going to see a specialist. always Touchwood, always link the word specialist to basically he's going to probably go under a knife again. I hope that's not the case. But yeah, Lawrence looked the real deal. Kind of, if you put him in the category of probably Kmart Roof, if they're fit players, if they're both fit, you know that you've got proper football players on your hands because they're both very good players. I think let's hope Lawrence isn't going to fall into the category of kind of long term 7 to 10 days or 4 months, whatever. Let's hope it is just a tiny setback and it's not having to get under surgery again. But at the same time, realistically, are we going to see the Tom Lawrence we know this season? Probably not. But the way the season is just now, I'd like to think Rangers are going to do it wisely and just not rush the guy back, because I know what Ali's saying, we've got some crucial games coming up, but I wouldn't risk him. Like, if he was ready to play maybe come March, I wouldn't risk him. I would just let him. It's more important he comes back and fulfills his rehab to be fit for next season than rushing him back just to try and get a cup or something like that over the line.
Yeah, and I suppose with Tillman, well, in flashes anyway, showing some really good form of late since Beals came in. I think there might not be a real rush to get him back, and it would be stupid to rush him back in order to play. I don't know who we play after Aberdeen. Who do we play after Aberdeen?
St Johnstone in the Cup.
St Johnstone in the Cup. Oh, and who's after that as a league game? Oh no, St Johnstone.
No, we've got Kilmarnock. Sorry, we've got Kilmarnock on a Wednesday night after,
and then St Johnstone.
Then St Johnstone back to back.
We don't need Scotia. Yeah. We don't need Scotia when Ali's
no,
like that. That is, no. I mean, he is on it tonight.
Pulling it. No. I'm useless at stuff like that. I know, usually know the next 2 games, and then I'm like, who we got after that?
Aberdeen on the Sunday, Kilmarnock at Ibrox on the Wednesday, and then back to back. We've got Ross County at 5:30 on that Saturday, which I think we agreed to go out for a couple of bevies to watch.
St Johnstone at 5:30, not Ross County.
Sorry, Ross, St Johnstone, and then St Johnstone again.
See, useless. For somebody phone Scotia, we need them back.
Bring them back.
Honestly,
did you get those decorations down yet?
He's too busy shaving his balls at the moment, Scotia. Leave him alone.
Oh, brilliant! And ins and outs. Obviously, he was asked a question, and the guy that asked was told in no uncertain terms, "I'm not telling you who I'm trying to sign." But what he did say, Ali, was music to my ears. Linda's just asked, is Scotia all right? Scotia's always okay. So if there's a nuclear explosion in the world, Scotia will survive it. Scotia is absolutely fine. He's absolutely fine. He's just not here tonight. Ali, he mentioned that there will be no loan signings this window, which is just brilliant. And the fact that he said, I don't need anything short term, I need it for long term. It's just music to my ears, mate, because it's exactly what we need. We have to stop being short-sighted. We have to look to the future now.
Yeah, it's good for Ryan. He can get Aaron Ramsey in the back of his jersey now because he's signing a permanent, not a loan. So, no, I mean, we've had the loans. I mean, I'm just laughing about that there. But last January when we brought Diallo on loan, we brought Ramsey on loan, and look how that kind of worked out. We've done it previously. He's talking the same as what we've been talking for a while. We need to build, like you say, Carney, for the future. Loan players don't really fit that bill unless it's a guy you're bringing in who you know you're pretty much going to purchase. Kind of like a Hadji when we've done that one. But no, I'm when he said that today, yeah, I was glad, because I did think, are we going to possibly bring in maybe a loan player? Like I did say a loan to buy possibly, but the way he's talking, it's permanent's coming in, and you'll probably come on him, can he? Said he doesn't want to do it over a Zoom. He wants to sit down face to face and actually look them in the eye and go, do you actually want to play for this football club? And I like that, because that was just the way he speaks. Beale is very, very good. But let's see it in the park.
Double-edged sword every single time.
Bring him up and then bring him down.
Yeah, it really is. It's like a backhanded compliment all the time. Ryan, I think this is about we discussed the same before we went live tonight, mate. This is what you want to hear. And Ali's spot on. See the fact that he wants to sit down in front of people and wants to look into their eye and say, how much do you actually want to be here? I mean, he says he's had people phoning the club saying that they want to play for Rangers, which is a good thing, of course, but they have to be the right players. And he also put to bed any sort of theories, conspiracies that you like that Ross Wilson signs everybody. He doesn't, and it wasn't the case in the past as well. He will get the say on who he wants into the club.
Yeah, as I said before we started recording, there was never a time I wasn't into Michael Beale or didn't like Michael Beale. I was just very cautious that he would be a yes man and the easy option. The things Michael Beale was saying in every press conference is everything I want to hear. If he implements it, he'll be a success. There is absolutely no doubt about it, because if he's backed, he'll be a success because he gets it. He understands it. He knows what's required here. And that's no criticism on Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. I don't think it was working. He's maybe he didn't fill me with his press conference. Didn't fill me with kind of optimism or passion. And Beale does. He seems to say everything right. And I liked when he said nobody will sign for this club without my say so. That was quite a bold thing to say. And he did say that there has to be an agreement with the club as well. But that to me clarifies my fears of he's not going to be a yes man. And I hope that is the case. I hope that we do see signings and we're like, yeah, that's a Michael Beale signing. Whereas it's debatable whether Van Bronckhorst did get his men in or not. But that's by the by, it's done. But yes, I was very happy to hear that it's not loan deals he's looking for. He's looking for players to come in here and make a long-term difference, because that's exactly what we need. Yes, he does need to get rid of some deadwood, but his hands are tied at the moment in terms of shipping players out. That will happen a lot more in the summer. But yeah, it excites me to think he's talking about 2 or 3 players coming in that door who he sees as Rangers players long-term next week. That'll do for me.
That'll do for me too, mate. James has said, and thank you very much for the donation, mate, should we release Offerbaugh? This is a difficult one to answer because we don't know what type of football player he is. Look, what's happened to him is freak. It is absolutely a freak occurrence that's happened to him. He had a really serious problem with his heart. I seen some of the pictures we spoke about before on Instagram that he put up, and it was... wow, honestly, it was so bad to see. He was sitting with like a big thing sticking out his chest and that, and I'm like, well, that's absolutely mental. Would it be fair on him? I don't know, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's a business, isn't it? It's a bit of a difficult one. I would love to see. I don't know if the boy's ever going to play football again. Even what Beale said in the presser, there's some personal stuff that's probably going to be getting into that as well. And what's this doing to this boy mentally? I think Rangers are doing the right things and not really talking about it very much as well. And probably, I'd imagine the support that he's getting from the club is, I mean, second to none. I really do think it'd be unbelievable. But Ali, it'd be a wee bit unfair just to kick him out right now, wouldn't it? I mean, you've really got to take the human element into it, surely.
It's a freak one, Carney. It's because he was playing before he came to Rangers, Offerbaugh, when we signed him, and when we've done he's went through obviously his kind of medical type stuff when he's come up here. It's been flagged, but he signed a 4-year contract with us, Offerbaugh, when he came up. He's a youngish lad. He's not going to give up that contract when potentially his football career could be over, potentially. I know a lot of football players have insurance in terms of if a bad injury that happens to them, they'll get a payout on it. But he's got years left in his contract, so for him, why would he leave? And like you say, Carney, in the terms of Rangers letting him go, it doesn't look good either. So yeah, it's a difficult one because he's been there a while now, Offerbaugh. You do see him though. See when during that last season, the Europa League run, you've seen him on the park and stuff for everyone. So it's not as if he's just out the picture. He's still with the lads and stuff, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's a difficult one, that one. But yeah, there'll be more to come from that. But it's a sad one, to be honest, for the boy.
It is, and I think this is one time that I think will allow a wee pull on the heartstrings, because I just don't think it would be right for Rangers just to get rid of him, especially what he's been through.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head, mate, when you talk about the human element. I found that a bit of a strange question from, I think it was Derek Clark from the Review that asked it. I don't know if he just maybe ran out of questions or whatever. It's hard to judge, but I found it a strange question to ask about him. Beale said there's private circumstances tied to this. There's a duty of care as Rangers that we forget as football fans. A duty of care for Rangers as an employer. This is, we're talking about life and death here. We think that winning 3 points in the Saturday's life and death. This guy could lose his life if things go wrong, and he's employed by a business, and that's the end of it. We, as football fans, forget that kind of thing, and we think, oh, he's costing so much a week. Yes, he is. We're just very unfortunate it could happen to you or I, where you or I go to our work and something unfortunate happens to us, and your employer has to stick by you and do the right thing, and that's what we're doing, and that will play out. And I think it's the way I see it. I won't think of him playing for football for Rangers again. I think that guy's career is probably over. He'll have dreams. I totally get it, but no, I don't see that guy playing for Rangers. And I think we just need to do the right thing and either let him see out his contract or come to some sort of arrangement. But no, it's not something I think about.
No, I know, me neither. It's just that's never one that's played in my mind. As I say, and we all know, as I say, I've known somebody in my family with heart conditions, and it's not something to be taken lightly. So for me, it's just one of the ones Rangers have to do the right thing, and it's a duty of care thing. So I don't think it would look very good. Right, I just realised the time, lads. We'll move on to Dundee United, shall we? So yes, we play Dundee United on Sunday. It's a ridiculous 4:00 kickoff, isn't it, Alistair? And right, isn't it?
Yeah.
4:00. Dundee United just now are sitting 11th in the league, not on a great run of form. They've won 5, drawn 4, and they've lost 10. They have a goal difference of -10. Not particularly great form, I don't think. They did win it against St Johnstone and Ross County previously, drew 2 each with Hearts, and before that they get beat off Aberdeen. So a bit of a mixed bag really for Dundee United. Ali, what are you expecting against Dundee United on Sunday? Are you a bit like me, mate? It should be 3 points.
Should be 3 points. It's one of these grounds we kind of struggle at every season. Dundee United, they've always been a bogey team for us. See, even when we were, before what happened to us years ago, they were a bogey team for us, Dundee United. And no, but the way Dundee United are playing, the players like Stephen Fletcher up front, who I don't know what age Stephen Fletcher is now, but no, we should be dealing with Dundee United convincingly. Doesn't matter who we put out, we should beat them. The 4:00 kickoffs on a Sunday, it's a horrible kickoff time for anyone, to be honest. But no, I'll expect Rangers to go up there and get 3 points, and they should go up there and get 3 points.
Yeah, Ryan, you're on the same lines, mate. It should be 3 points. I can't really see why it shouldn't.
It should definitely be 3 points. I think there needs to be a shift in mentality where I know it's hard because we've not been great this season, but we need to stop thinking about, Tannadice could be a banana skin, Ross County could be a banana skin, Pittodrie. It needs to be, no, let's go up there and get 3 points, and let's try and do it convincingly as well. We have got from now to end the season to start implementing that kind of mentality, in my opinion, and I think that's the way Beale will look at it. I don't think we'll be going up there and going up 1-0 and defending a lead, put it that way. I fancy Rangers to win by a few goals on Sunday, and I hope I'm right.
Very positive.
And with that, very positive, very positive. This is no longer the negative podcast. Things are
by
changing.
the way, I'm off the drink, so I've not the drink for anybody else.
No, you've not had the drink. No, you're not had the drink. Right, so yeah, Justin, mate, thank you very much. Really much appreciate it. He said, cheers, lads, 4-0 Rangers. Yeah, superb. Thank you, Justin, as always, mate. Really appreciate that. And with that, Ryan, I will come back to you and I'll ask for your team and what you think the score is going to be.
Right, see Tavernier. Did Tavernier break his nose on Sunday? I've not had the chance to catch up with it. I just saw the collision with Maeda.
Saw one.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, if his face looks as bad as I think it will, then I think he might not play on Sunday. I don't know. I've not seen him in training or anything like that. So I'm going to go Devine at right back, and I'm going to go pretty much the same team as it was on Sunday, apart from Tavernier. I think that's if it looked as bad as it was, as I said, it did look a sore one. So I'm going to go Devine at right back, and it's nothing to do with his form, just because of his face. And I'm going to go 3-0
just because
Rangers.
of his face.
I know. If MD tunes in, they'll be like,
just because of his face, I know.
Because of his face, mate. get him dropped. I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers, and I'm going to go Ryan Kent to score first again.
Magic. Jim, as always, mate, Justin, one of you two go first and then you follow suit. No, absolutely fantastic, Jim. Thank you so much, mate. Really, really appreciated. Ali, I'll come to you, mate. Your team and your score.
Jagger and goal, Tav at right back, Goldson, Davies, Barisic, Ryan's pals, Jack Amara, Tillman. I think Lundstrom will sit out. He's been taking injections. Lundstrom, we did say he was fit and available, but I think he'll sit out. Kent one side, the man for Zambia on the other side, because I think that's his position now going forward. And I think if you're looking for a goal scorer, number 9 for Rangers, Antonio Cholak will lead the line against Dundee United. I'm going to be very positive like Ryan, but I'll throw a wee negative in. It's going to be 4-1 Rangers. We will ship a goal somewhere. And it will be the man for Zambia to score first.
Sounds good to me. My team is exactly the same as yours, Ali, apart from I think Morelos will still start again, and I think Cholak will. I think Cholak will come on from about. He'll ease him back into it, I think.
He says Morelos has been carrying an injury the last couple of games, and he wouldn't have played if
he said he said his attitude's been really good as well. So I don't know if he'll want to kind of let Morelos down or not. Yeah. Apparently, whatever that
he was lying on the ground like that when somebody apparently hit him in the face.
Yeah, I know.
Strike one, Michael Beale. That's a lie.
Yeah, strike one. Yeah, so I'll go for them. Yeah, I'll go with that, but I think you'll start Morelos. I'll go with your team, though. I think Lundstrom's best just to sit out. Do you know what I mean? If he's in that much pain, he's best just to sit him out just now. And I'll go 3-0 Rangers as well, and I'll go the man for Zambia to score first. No, did you pick him, Ali?
To score first, yeah.
I'll go for Tillman to score first then, because he's not scored in a while, so I'll go Tillman to score first. So yes, that will do us for tonight. So just past the hour mark. Thank you again, everybody in the chat. Really do appreciate you all joining in. A really good chat tonight. So for tonight, Ali, thank you very much, mate. And are you on Sunday?
I will be on Sunday. Tommy's coming over to watch a game with me. So, it's one of the awkward times, a 4 o'clock game on a Sunday. It's rubbish. So no, I will be watching it in the house. So yes, I will be on Sunday. And Stevie T, thank you very much for that donation.
Stevie T, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. I've seen I was winning the league 3 times at Tannadice, 3-0 for me. Superb. Stevie T, excellent, mate. Thank you so much. Ryan, thank you very much for tonight, mate. Are you on Sunday?
Cheers, boys. Have a good weekend. I think I'm watching it in the house on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I'm 4 o'clock. Yeah, I probably will be. So I will probably be on with you guys. If I make it through, I'm playing a Fathers v Sons 11-a-side match tomorrow. So if I don't see you again, everybody enjoy their weekend.
Yeah, and good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. Honestly, good luck to you. And Scotia might be on. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll tune in and you'll find out if Scotia has returned. So before you go, please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you for the donations to everybody, for everybody tonight. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, we will be back on Sunday to hopefully discuss another 3 points. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.